Hello guys, this is me Shah, and today we will study two very important topics of object-oriented programming. The first one is virtual function and the second one is pure virtual function. But before that, it's time for an intro. First of all, what is a virtual function? A virtual function is a member function of a base class that is redefined or overridden in the derived class. It means that when a function of base class is created and redefined or updated in derived class, it is called virtual function. I repeat, when a function of base class is redefined or updated in derived class, it is called virtual function. A virtual function is declared using virtual keyword in base class while it does not need same keyword in derived class. You can understand the above point with the help of this example. Refer to a derived class object using a pointer or a reference to the base class. You can call a virtual function for that object and execute the derived class's version of the function. It means that when we approach the object of derived class with the help of pointer or a reference of base class, then in output we can get the function of derived class. I repeat, when we approach the object of derived class with the help of pointer or reference of base class, then in output we can get the function of derived class. It is used to tell the compiler to perform dynamic linkage or late binding in the function. The other name of late binding is runtime polymorphism. The late binding word itself says that the compiler at runtime will decide about the function which is to be executed. So now let's move on. So now what are the rules to define a virtual function? All of these rules are very easy to understand and you must remember them by heart. First, they must be always declared in public section of class. So it means that virtual function should always be declared in the public section of class. Virtual functions cannot be static and also cannot be a friend function of another class. Now, virtual functions should be accessed using pointer or reference of base class type to achieve runtime polymorphism. Now, this is the same point that we discussed in the previous slide. So we move on. The prototype of virtual functions should be same in base as well as derived class. It says that the prototype of both virtual class and virtual class of base class and derived class should be same. Next, they are always defined in base class and overridden in derived class. It means that first the virtual function is created in base class and then it is overridden in the derived class. Now we jump onto the program of virtual function. So first we include avstream.h header file, then we make a class base. Under the public section of this base class, we make a print named function. Its return type is void, and as we discussed earlier, the virtual keyword is necessary. Now inside the body of this print function, we have a statement as cout print base class. So if the function is called, it will show the output as print base class. Now we derive the base class base under now we derive the base class base publicly in the derived class. Under the public section of derived class, we have the same function print as it was in base class, but it has a different statement which says cout print derived class. So if this function will be called, we will have the output as print derived class. Now, as we see in integer main, a pointer type variable is created for base which has VPTR name, and object is created of derived class which is D. Now we give the address of D to BPTR. So it means that we give the address of object which is the object of derived class to the pointer type variable of base class. So in short, when we write BPTR print, it will call the function which we made in derived class, which will print derived class. So at last in the output, finally we get print derived class. Hope you understood this program. So now let us move on to a new topic, which is pure virtual function. So now, what is a pure virtual function? A pure virtual function is a virtual function which is to be implemented by the derived class. So when a virtual function gets its definition or gets implemented by the derived class, it is called pure virtual function. I repeat, when a virtual function is defined or implemented by the derived class, then it is called pure virtual function. Now, the class that contains declaration of this virtual function is called the abstract class. So in simple words, if when a class contains only the declaration of the virtual function, then that class is called abstract class. Now, the function is declared using pure specifier that is equal to 0. So it means that when, as we discussed earlier, the class that contains only the declaration of virtual function, then that class is abstract class. So in that abstract class, we need to declare the function with using our pure specifier which is equal to 0. So we need to add the function with equal to 0 in this manner. And in the definition class, we just write the return type, then our function name, and then the body of our virtual function. Now, in most of the cases, the abstract class is always base class and the derived class is our definition class. So here it means that the base class or abstract class will have a virtual function with no body, while body of the virtual function will take place in derived class. So it says the base class will not have the body, it will just have the declaration of the virtual function, while the body of the virtual function will be in derived class. So now let us understand it more with the help of a program. We include the iostream.h header file, then we make a class A which is our base class, and under the public section of class A we make a virtual function which is virtual void func equal to 0. Now the return type of this function is void and function name is func. Equal to 0 is our pure specifier, and a virtual keyword is compulsory while making a virtual function. So now this class ends, and in short, this class A becomes our abstract class as we add equal to 0 to this function, so it becomes the pure virtual function program. Now we publicly derive class A into class B, and under the public section of class B we write the same function void func, and it contains the body of the function. So as we discussed earlier, the abstract class or base class will contain only the declaration of the function, while the body of the virtual function will be in derived class. Now moving to integer main, we created the object of class B as OB1. So when this OB1 will be invoked, automatically the class B will be called, and we get the output of func function which is our virtual function, and we get the output as func called. So here we complete our today's topic, which were virtual function and pure virtual function. Hope you understood it well, and if you didn't, watch this video again and again until you understand. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Goodbye.